We're going to take a look at a pretty easy song to play. This is the Everly Brothers' Cathy's Clown. Now, it's one of the few songs that they wrote that became a hit for them. They wrote some other songs too, but this was probably the biggest hit for them in the early days. That was one self-penned by Don and Phil. And it's a great vocal tune. I really encourage you to check out Jim Bruno's lesson over at Totally Vocals. We're going to look at it in the key the Everlys originally did it, but you can really play this song in any key. And it really only takes 4 chords. 1, 4, 5, 3 major chords in the key, and 6, the most common minor chord to throw in with them. So we're going to take a look at it in the key of G, the way they originally did it, and still continue to do it for many years after that. Many of their songs, as time went on, they would do them in slightly lower keys or just different keys for one reason or another. It kind of depended on, there were a lot of factors involved. But this is one they typically always did in G, and hopefully you already know what those 4 chords would be in the key of G. The key of G would of course be 1 sharp, F sharp, which would be the 7th note of the scale. And the first note would be G. The first chord number 1 then would be G. Chord number 2 would be built on note 2, which would be A. The chord would be A minor. Chord 3 would be built on note 3, which is B. B minor. Neither of those chords occur in the song. Chord 4 would be C. We're going to see it. Chord 5 would be D. We're going to see it, and we're going to talk about a couple different ways of playing the D chord, and it's very common for chord 5 in a key to be played as a 7th chord. They don't typically do that here, or it's not emphasized. They do, but you don't really hear the 7th very prominently. But we're going to talk about doing that and or not doing that. And chord 6, which would be E minor. So, in the next segment we'll talk about different ways of fingering the chords, a little bit about the right hand, and then we'll work through the chord progression to Cathy's Clown. So that was the first segment of a lesson I put together on a very simple song by the Everlys, Cathy's Clown. And in the lesson we talk about muting chords as well, and holding down a common note. Now this is a really important thing. You could gain a lot out of, let's do this with F and C, but a great tip is you have a lot of songs that have Fs and Cs back and forth. You might be having a little trouble with bar chords, but you've got one finger in the same place on those 2 chords. You have your F chord down as a full bar, your 3rd finger's on C. Learn to change to C and leave it there. This will pay off in lots and lots of other songs. Anyway, the rest of that lesson on Cathy's Clown covers a few other muting techniques and some other stuff. If you'd like to see it, it's up at TotallyGuitars. It's part of our Target program, which is our monthly subscription program where there are over 600 lessons now. And it's also available as an individual purchase if you'd like to. It's a fairly easy song. You know, it's a level 2 song probably on the scale of 1 to 10. You can make it a little more difficult by playing the bar chords, but there's also a very easy way to play it. We also have a lot of free lessons there to get you started on just chord changes and some simple songs. So really encourage you to come check that out. But our Target program is really where there is the stuff that can take you from wherever you happen to be as a guitar player to just accelerate your learning onto further levels. So come visit us at TotallyGuitars.com when you can.